I've been here for about 24 hours, and pretty much the whole time I've been surrounded by deer. So I'm gonna flip the camera around so you can see how close they are. At any one time, I've counted up to 8 of them. And I know you're not supposed to feed the wildlife, but I shredded a carrot and threw it in the woods. They're just so cute, and it's so fun to see them this close to me. Look how cute you are. Oh, there's another one. They're just cruising. There's another one right there. I've seen a couple of them cross the street too, but I also threw some goji berries into the woods. They ate most of the carrots, but wow, that's scary. Okay. So I'm here till Friday at the Fontainebleau State Park in Louisiana. It's awesome. I almost had to move my spot today because they put it in the computer wrong when I booked it yesterday. I was just a walk-in. So this morning somebody else booked the spot I am in because they put it in wrong yesterday. And this lady came by and she's like, sorry, you're gonna have to move. We have a reservation today. And then they called me like 20 minutes later after I'd packed up most of my stuff, which was no small feat, telling me that since I had made the reservation first and the other person had made it this morning, that I did not have to move and they would find another spot for the other person. So that was awesome because I really liked this spot. It's right next to the woods. There's nobody next to me. There's another spot somewhere over there, but on my other side there's no spot, or there's nobody. There's no other place to park. And the deer are here. An armadillo walked up to me today. And just being out here, I sat at that picnic table this morning for like 3 hours, totally in a flow state, working on a masterclass that I'm super excited about. It's called the Identity Incubator, where I'm teaching people what I know about who you believe you are and how it affects everything in your reality. I just spent the last 4 days with a bunch of other women focusing on this exact topic, and I really needed that. I really needed to be on the receiving end of coaching for that topic, because despite how much work I've done in it, it's like I was really having a hard time creating my new content about it because I was trying to feed people on an empty stomach, so to speak. You know, all coaches need coaches, and if you ever meet a coach that doesn't have a coach, then don't work with that coach because it means they're trying to feed you on an empty stomach and they probably aren't going to get very far with you. That's just my philosophy now. I got to make sure I'm plugged in, I'm being fed as a coach myself by somebody who I want to emulate, and that was maybe a problem for me too in the past. Is it was hard for me to find a coach I wanted to emulate. I'm not talking about emulating their business, but who they are in their business and how they hold themselves and how they show up and the quality of content, the quality of community that they've created, that kind of thing. Like, let me find a community I actually want to be a part of. And when you're part of a community, it makes a lot more sense when it comes to creating your own community. Yeah, so I'm finally there, and it was just a joy to sit out here at a picnic table and my little cushion, somewhere I have a cushion for my tailbone, sit out here and just be in the flow state for a couple of hours. And I can't remember the last time that I really worked like that. Everything has felt up until this point like a grind, and I was feeling myself hit a wall around lunchtime and wanting to keep going, or eat real quick and keep going, like that old mindset that I used to have, like just hustle and nose to the grindstone and put in the time or whatever. But I realized that came from a place of scarcity and fear and urgency, all that stuff. Fear is always in a hurry, but that's not where I want to create. That's not where I want to create from calm. And I feel like calm energy is the best creative energy that I can give myself. So instead of pushing myself to get back to the drawing board, so to speak, and continue drafting what I'm working on, which is the Identity Incubator Masterclass, I said, let me bring this excitement to continue to my work tomorrow morning. Let me be excited to continue working on this tomorrow, because there's so much, like, so much that I want to add, but I feel the need to regenerate. The need to take a step back and recharge before, just like my camera battery is charging right now, to regenerate myself, to allow myself to be fed and nourished, not just by food, but from nature. So I'm about to go take a walk before I sit back down on my computer and bang on that keyboard for another couple of hours. It'll feel a lot better if I do it tomorrow. Interestingly enough, that's also how I talk to myself when I feel the urge to overeat. Doesn't always work. I'm still working on it. It's always a work in progress, right? But I feel a lot of the same strategy coming into play, where I could eat that third slice of pizza when I'm satisfied with 2. Or I could tell myself, hey, this third slice of pizza is going to taste a whole lot better tomorrow as a first slice of pizza if you wait. There's no urgency. The pizza's not going anywhere. If I eat it now, then it's gonna make me not feel so good. But if I wait, then it'll be even more satisfying. So that's just kind of a glimpse into the conversations I have with myself. And you have to have conversations with yourself. I think we've been conditioned to believe that we shouldn't have conversations with ourselves because that makes us crazy. And as someone who's literally been called crazy before, it doesn't make you crazy. It makes you in tune with yourself, and it makes you much more likely to be in alignment with the person that you want to be if you have conversations with yourself and you're honest with yourself about who you are and who you want to be. So, and not to spoil anything, but that's exactly the topic that's in the Identity Incubator Masterclass. It's something I've been working on for a long time, and it felt really good to really get some progress on it today. Like good, solid progress, and just being in that flow state. Cannot beat that. So I'm off to take a walk. I will check in with you guys later. Hey everybody. Oh my gosh, what an incredible few days it's been. I am checking in with you to update you. I haven't seen the deer at all today. I've seen a whole bunch of squirrels and an armadillo, but I guess the deer have left the area. Although now that I say that, I probably will see them. The squirrels have been going nuts out in the woods, no pun intended. It's occurred to me that I really enjoy staying at campgrounds, being in one place for anywhere from 5 days, 4 days. I would say my happiest place is 4 to 7 days. 7 days might be pushing it, but it really depends on where I am. I'm here for 5 nights. I have a full day tomorrow, the rest of the day today, and it's only like 1:30 right now. Okay, I'm being visited by the Louisiana parks person, so I'm gonna leave the camera running. Hi, what?
Hi. Is it okay if we test the water at your location? We do it every day.
Oh yeah, of course.
Thank you.
I'm just filming a video, so you're just gonna hear me talking. Yeah, between 5 and 7 days seems to be my happy place. I like boondocking, I like going from place to place, but it's also kind of stressful because you can't really set up. You can't put your picnic table cloth over your picnic table because you don't have a picnic table. You can't take your hand weights out. You can't set up your trampoline. You can't really live in a parking lot the same way you can live in a campground. So I'm really finding the value, and I don't know how loud those people are driving by. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Some ASMR in the background with the water flowing. It's funny how I noticed too when I saw this gentleman drive up to test the water, how immediately my little inner child mind went to, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble, you know, which I didn't do anything to get in trouble. But like that's my inner child and that programming that I'm becoming aware of. Yeah, so I'm really finding the value in paying for campgrounds. My next campground is going to be for a whole week. I paid for a week, but then I was like, what happens if I need to leave early? Well, it's going to cost me more money to stay for 6 days than it would to stay for a week. So I'm just going to keep the week reservation. If I have to leave early, I'll just pay for the week, and it is what it is. So I think I just saw a hawk go. It was pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm going to be paying $185 for a week at this place. I forgot exactly where in Louisiana it is, but I really like Louisiana, so I'm enjoying it. There are quite a few bugs though. It's not so hot that I can't be comfortable wearing this, but I have my natural bug spray, which this is from Bet's Bar's handcrafted soap, but I've refilled the bottle with my own recipe of bug spray, which is just a recipe I found online. If you're interested in learning how to make your own bug spray with essential oils, I'm using witch hazel, water, essential oils, and sweet almond oil. And it works really well. The first day I was here, I left my van door open during the day, which is easy in and out, but I ended up killing like 8 or 9 mosquitoes with my bare hands that night inside the van. So I don't want to deal with that. So I'm leaving the door open or closed so it doesn't allow as many bugs in, because that just sucks. I've been enjoying using my phone as a hotspot. I haven't had to use my Starlink at all, because as long as I have a couple of bars of service, I can turn it into a hotspot and get work done. And yeah, it might take a while to upload stuff like these videos, but I haven't gone over my data limit of 50 gigabytes yet. I mean, I don't have a data limit, but fast uploads I do. I've been able to watch a couple of videos, although I will say I'm cutting back on how many videos I watch, and it's helping a lot. In fact, the last 3 days, in fact, I have gotten out of bed. I have made myself some kind of breakfast, whether it was a smoothie. Yesterday I juiced, and then this morning I made myself a little bit too much cacao. I'm still feeling a little of the effects of that cacao, to the point where I'm like, I don't think I want to do that anymore, at least not that much of it. Certainly energizes you, because I went to bed at 9 last night, but I woke up and couldn't get back to sleep at 3 a.m. and I ended up snoozing kind of off and on until my alarm went off. Okay, the guy just started his truck and he's going away now, so I'm gonna let him drive away and flick this spider off of my fan. But yeah, after I made my breakfast in the morning, I sat outside and did a little bit of journaling, kind of just self-care, self-reflection time, and did some exercise. So the last 3 days in a row, y'all, I have exercised. And I have my trampoline set up out here, which has been really fun. And I've gone for walks. I'm about to go on a walk this afternoon. There's a nature trail here, and it's about 1.5 miles, so I'm gonna do that since I haven't done it yet. And then after I'm done with my workout, I have sat down at my computer and I have been writing. And I am very pleased and proud and excited to say that I finished writing Identity Incubator, and I'm super excited about it, because I feel like with this course I have and will be helping so many people crack the code on why they feel so stuck in life, why they feel like they're not showing up or completing or doing the things that they say they want to do, why that's happening to them. This course is basically lifting the veil on that. And I'm just absolutely pumped about it, because this is the first time I've created something when I haven't been attached to somebody else. I'm not attached to my ex-husband. I'm not attached to the CEO who owned part of my former company that I sold last year. And I made it very clear to him. I was like, everything I'm creating has nothing to do with you, has nothing to do with the company that you own part of. We sold those assets, we're done. And that's, you know, totally fine with him, but it's kind of funny because now that I'm not attached to anybody, I feel really free to create. And I feel like I can actually do what I want to do, and I don't need anybody's approval. There's always somebody driving by. I think that's my only kind of downside with this campsite, is there's always somebody driving by. So there's like, it's never quiet, except at night. It's been quiet at night, but anyway, not to complain. I don't want to complain. Being able to create without needing anyone else's approval. Is it in the budget? You know, is it gonna work? Is it necessary? Like, the kind of stuff I'm creating now would have been labeled as unnecessary and fluffy and dumb. Maybe not dumb, he probably wouldn't have said that, but I wouldn't have been encouraged to create it, and I knew that. So I didn't. And I didn't want somebody to own part of what I created just arbitrarily, which when somebody owns part of your company and you're operating a company together and you create something new, they own part of that. Unless you have officially parted ways, like, this guy is not attached to me anymore in a business sense at all. And I feel so good. I realized I hadn't had that before. I hadn't created any program of mine without being attached to someone else. With Proofread Anywhere, I was my ex-husband and then my CEO later on. And then I had something called Mindset University, which was with my ex-husband and a friend of ours. And that project completely died because they didn't have it in them to keep it going. And I didn't have enough bandwidth to do it myself, even though it was my idea. And I had work at home school, which I did not have the bandwidth to keep going on my own. And the business partner I had with that just wanted 20% of my revenue. And that's basically what he was there for. And you can just kind of tell. So it's like people aren't in your life necessarily to tend the garden with you. They're there to take the fruit. And I'm not into that. I'm just not into that anymore. And it just feels so good to be answering only to myself and to have recruited a team of my own to help me build this thing, this new system, this new program, this new process for people to move through to see real transformation in their lives. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. And you guys are kind of getting the sneak peek of this because I haven't even formally announced that I am releasing something like this, and it's just a precursor for something bigger as well. So that's in the works. I haven't announced that at all, but I've had the domain for it for more than a year now, almost a year actually, not quite a year. And I finally have the clarity and the alignment that I needed to make it happen and make it come to life. So, and you know, it helps that I sold my company and I have some capital to invest in it, that I don't feel like I need to have my nose to the grindstone and be doing all these parts and pieces, creating this new program, this new brand, all on my own. I feel really blessed to have offloaded and cash out, so to speak, from my former brand. While I can say, oh, I sold my business, I actually didn't sell my business. I sold the assets of a business to another company. So I sold the brand and the assets of that brand to someone else. I didn't sell me. I didn't sell the creative fire that up until now had been outsourced, not outsourced, but I had given it to other people, my creative energy. So I'd given other people authority over me, and it sucked. Like, I absolutely hated it. And it didn't feel good. It didn't feel in alignment. I didn't feel free. I felt like I was a prisoner. I felt like I was a milk cow in some instances. And now I just feel like, yes, I get to create freely, and nobody's gonna come knocking and trying to get a percentage or whatever, you know. That's really inspiring to me, like that freedom to be able to create from that space. And the calmness too. I have been working with myself to not feel pressured to complete everything at one time. I used to have this bad habit of working like 14-hour days. And that anxiety and that urgency was all coming from a place of fear and scarcity. And I recognize that now. That's not the place that I'm in today. I am operating with a wealthy, abundant, creative mindset, which is the exact opposite of the scarcity mindset that I had in the past, the urgent mindset. And that's how I know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. So for the last couple of days, I've only worked for like 3 hours after I work out. So it's like 9:30, maybe to 12:30, so 2.5 hours. Maximum 3 hours of work on a project, creating, writing on a daily basis. I don't want to burn myself out. The first day especially, day one of being here, I was like, I really want to keep going, you know. I wasn't done yet. I knew I wasn't done yet. I wanted to finish it. I wanted to get it done as fast as possible. And it was funny because I ended up making this part of the class itself, you know, take a break, because you're telling yourself stories about what it means to take a break, and they're not true. So I was telling myself, I have to finish it. I have to finish it. Well, where is that coming from? You know, what's going to happen if I don't finish it today versus what's going to happen if I wake up excited to work on it tomorrow? If I burn myself out now trying to finish it right now, I'm not coming at it with the right energy. And as a result, I finished it today after 3 days of repeating that exact process of working until I hit the wall, so to speak. And today I pushed it a little bit because I was like, all right, I'm just reading. I was reading the draft and editing the draft to a final draft to get ready to make it into slides. And I pushed myself a little bit to finish that because I didn't want to like be on that much of a cliffhanger. And I'm so proud of myself. I feel blown away that I was able to crank out something so solid with such flow and clarity in a way that I've never been able to do before. I did it without drugs. I did it without alcohol. I did it without anything. Like, alcohol is a drug, but I did it without anything. Cacao doesn't really count because yesterday and the day before I did it without cacao, and I could have done it without cacao today. I was just, you know, on that journey, I guess. But yeah, I had no idea that I could create in such a state of flow. It was just exhilarating. Just finishing the class just in a Google Doc, it ended up being like 35 pages, something like that. And I was like, yes, like I finished it. It feels so good. And I know it's going to be amazing when it sits in slides and I've recorded it. And even feel better like once I start getting feedback from people on it. I just know the information is life changing because information changed my life. And yeah, so that's where I'm at Fontainebleau State Park in Louisiana. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video. Leave me a comment, let me know you're listening, and ask me any questions you want. See ya.